Welcome to This Explainer. I want to jump right into things today because I really need to start by acknowledging something that so many of us feel, but we rarely ever talk about. As someone who has walked alongside a lot of people feeling this exact same way, let me just tell you up front, you are absolutely not alone in this. You're probably here because you're experiencing this quiet, really heavy exhaustion. You're showing up every single day, doing your absolute best, but you're carrying this silent burden. Because despite all your earnest efforts to build a meaningful life, it just feels like you're standing completely still. So why do you feel like nothing is changing? Man, it is incredibly frustrating, isn't it? Because you're putting in the work, you're praying daily, you're trying your hardest to be a good person, to grow, to actually evolve past your old habits. But there's no dramatic shift. You wake up waiting for a sudden miracle, right? A blinding flash of transformation, or that magical moment where everything just finally clicks into place. And when the sky doesn't part and that massive shift doesn't happen, a really quiet, insidious doubt starts creeping in. You literally start wondering if you're fundamentally broken. Well, let's look at part one, why you feel stuck. The crucial point here is that this lack of immediate fireworks leads directly to a really deep-seated fear. You look at your life and realize, hey, I am doing everything right. You are praying constantly. You are trying your absolute hardest. You're showing up daily, ready to make a change. Yet, no big breakthrough happens. It feels totally paralyzing. It's kind of like you're pouring water into a bucket with a giant hole at the bottom. You're pouring your heart out, expending all this emotional and spiritual energy. But because you don't see massive, immediate, tangible results standing right in front of you, you just assume the bucket is empty. You assume your efforts are totally wasted. But I want you to consider this massive paradigm shift. What if the problem isn't your faith? What if the problem is what you're expecting? As a mentor, I see this literally all the time. People beat themselves up for a lack of spiritual strength, when in reality, they just have a false expectation of how God actually builds a life. Just think about how freeing that realization can be. The issue isn't that you're weak or that you're failing. The issue is simply that you're looking for a completely different kind of architecture than the one that's actually being built.
And that brings us to part two, the breakthrough illusion. We live in a society that has totally conditioned us to expect sudden explosions and dramatic miracles. We're always chasing that intense emotional high, right? We actually start believing that a single tearful breakthrough is the only valid proof of transformation. But the reality? True, enduring strength is built in small, quiet, consistent moments. We sit around waiting for an earthquake to prove we have power, ignoring the fact that true strength isn't built in those rare, dramatic peaks. It's built in the ordinary, almost invisible moments of your daily life. Honestly, those big dramatic moments don't build your strength at all. They just reveal the strength you've been quietly building in the background all along.
Which introduces us to this amazing concept of a spiritual micro-win. So what is that? It's a small, quiet victory that no one else sees, like choosing peace over anxiety or patience over frustration. Imagine it's just a random Tuesday afternoon, you're exhausted from work, the house is a total mess, and you are deeply stressed out. But instead of snapping at the people you love, you close your eyes and you choose patience over frustration. Instead of spiraling into midnight worry about your finances, you take a deep breath and choose peace over anxiety. Now, no one claps for you. No alarms go off. But as your mentor, I need you to hear this. These tiny, invisible decisions are not nothing. They are absolutely everything.
And this brilliantly illustrates part three, building brick by brick. Think of your life like constructing a house. You don't just summon fully formed walls out of thin air, right? Real stability requires deliberate, painstaking assembly. Step 1, choosing calm instead of reacting. Step 2, choosing patience instead of frustration. Step 3, choosing trust instead of overthinking. Every single time you make one of these seemingly mundane choices, boom, you lay a single, solid brick. Every time you refuse to give in to anxiety, another brick goes down. And over time, these individual, quiet choices interlock. They bind together with the mortar of consistency to create a highly stable, unshakable structure that can actually shelter you. But here is where we get derailed, and where I see people abandon their progress constantly. Construction doesn't look impressive at first. It looks slow, repetitive, and ordinary. When you look at a muddy foundation and just a few scattered bricks on the ground, it doesn't look like a safe harbor. It looks like a mess. So I want to warn you right now, as someone who really wants to see you succeed, do not quit just because the early stages of building don't provide the emotional highs you're chasing. Remember, you are trading a momentary, fleeting feeling for lasting, permanent stability. God is more interested in your character than your comfort. I want you to just take a moment and let that sink in. Character isn't forged when you're resting on a beach or when life is perfectly smooth. Character is forged through the repetition of these daily choices, especially when you are bone-deep exhausted. I know exactly how hard it is to make the right choice when your energy is just completely gone. When you would genuinely rather do anything else but be patient, but you choose patience anyway, that is the exact moment the foundation sets. That is where real growth solidifies.
This perfectly sets up part 4, purpose in your routine. Let's completely shift our perspective on the things you probably hate doing.
We all have these mundane realities, right? Washing the endless pile of dishes, commuting to work in mind-numbing traffic, handling the small, irritating frustrations of everyday life. You probably view these as annoying distractions keeping you from your real grand purpose. But I want to stand right beside you in these moments and show you their hidden value. These chores, they are actually your ultimate spiritual gym. Every dish washed with a calm mind, every deep breath taken while gripping the steering wheel in traffic, that is an active rep. You are building muscle. You are literally laying bricks while you wash plates.
And I want you to notice how this compounds over time. On day 1, you choose peace over anxiety once. And let's be honest, it feels incredibly hard. It feels clunky and unnatural. But by week 1, the next choice for peace becomes just a little bit easier. You've got some successful reps in. And by year 1, your natural reactions have completely changed. What used to trigger a total meltdown now barely even registers. Just like money grows with compounding interest, your daily micro wins completely rewire your inner world. You're actively remodeling the house of your mind, turning what used to feel forced into something totally natural and deeply ingrained. Which brings us to a really stark comparison. Fragile faith is built on emotion and breaks under pressure. It feels great when life is easy and the sun is shining, but it absolutely shatters when things get hard. Strong faith, on the other hand, is built deeply on consistency and daily practice. It's a house built on solid rock. Your peace is no longer based on unpredictable external circumstances or emotional highs. It's based on your steady daily training. When the wind blows, a fragile structure collapses. A strongly built house doesn't even sway.
And that leads us to our final step, part 5, preparing for future storms.
You won't rise to the level of your intentions. You will fall to the level of your training. Wow. It doesn't matter how much you intend to be strong when a crisis hits. Intentions do not build houses, actions do. If you haven't been practicing patience, trust, and resilience during the mundane moments, like doing the dishes or sitting in traffic, you simply won't have the muscle memory to save you physically and spiritually when a real storm arrives. Your training today is literally the roof over your head tomorrow. So I want to reassure you right now, you are not stuck. You are not failing, you are building. Your exhaustion isn't a sign of defeat, it's just the physical ache of a laborer who has been swinging a hammer all day. It's the forge where real strength is being created. It proves that this endurance is coming from a higher source, from God, rather than just your own limited, easily depleted willpower. You're building something eternal and magnificent in ways you can't even fully perceive yet. So I want to leave you with this final, absolutely vital question. What brick will you lay today? Stop waiting for a massive moment to magically fix your life or build your character overnight. The next time you feel stressed, just take a breath, choose peace, and lay that brick. Honor your daily micro wins. Because a beautiful, unshakable house isn't built in a day. It's built right now, in this exact quiet moment.